Hello and welcome to day 102. All right, let's find an opponent and begin. All right, so we have white. I've been trying this Jabava London, so let's see how this plays out. If my opponent even allows me to do it here. Try that. And then, already they're playing different here. They're playing in a different manner. All right. Now, can we already fork his king and rook here? Can we already do that? Did he already make a mistake in the opening? Let's find out. Oh, nope. He can just block the attack. All right. So, now we just look silly here. Well, might as well bring this pawn up. Bring the pawn up. So at least we got our pawn out of the way by doing that, if not much else. All right. Okay, well, it didn't turn into a Jabava London. It just turned into something crazy. Okay, now do we retreat back or do we ignore this? I'm going to say just ignore it. Go ahead and castle. Now, this pawn being here will help us get a help us control the center there. Oh, or did we make a mistake? No, we can just move up and protect this. Now, should we go here or just develop our queen? Probably develop the queen. So we'll go ahead and do that. Develop the queen, protect the pawn. Then the only thing I don't like is he could push forward and try and open this up and be lined up on my king and have this bishop aim there. So we probably need to move up here and attack this bishop. Oh, he can triple my pawns now as well. All right, so I don't want to let that happen. I don't want him to triple up my pawns, so I need to stop that. We'll go there. Try and stop his... All right, so we got the bishop. He probably should have given up his bishop, capturing my knight and tripling my pawns up here. All right, so what do we do now? Where is best to put this knight? Maybe we just ignore that attack on the knight and develop our rook. So we'll just do that, line up on his king. All right, so now what? Do we want to trade material off? Let's see. Well, this would be a defender of his king. So we'll knock that defender out. Oh, and he's opened up this line on my king here. But I think we'll just go there, block that, and if he tries to move forward, we could bring this up here. Or we could just leave this here and our knight is helping protect things. Although, I don't know, we need to get our king off of this line. Okay, so, what now, what now? How can I find some activity here? If I go here, he can just pick me off because my king has, all right, probably need to move this king out of here. So now we can keep our king in towards the center and activate our king. I'll bring my queen up here a little further maybe. All right, let's see what he decides to do next. Is he going to try and check me in here? Is he going to try and check me? All right, well, at least we're not burning through as much time in this game, but my opponent, even though they're lower rated, they're putting up some resistance. We're even right now. I have more space than them, but we've traded off so many pieces that I don't know how much of a difference that will make. So what now? Do we try and trap the queen in? We can't really do that. Okay. Maybe going after this pawn. Do we push forward here? Or do we ignore that? All right. And we'll just go there. Although now his bishop could, he could maybe push this. All right, where can we put our rook? Well, first of all, well, I don't know. I might want to bring my king to the center. That'll kind of block my king off if I do that. So maybe I need to bring the other rook over. And also, when you're not sure what to play, you can look for pawn pushes. Try and stop them from pushing pawns. Or if you can't stop it, make it not worthwhile for them to do that. So what can we do? We could push forward here. We probably should just centralize this rook. So we'll just go ahead and centralize our rooks. Okay. All right. Do we keep pushing now? All right. We could push right there. And we'll just push our pawns up towards the king side. I probably should push this pawn. Yeah, maybe that would have been better. Push this pawn right here. Anyway, I want to push this pawn if he doesn't try and stop me. Okay. Although, what do I do after that? If he doesn't capture me and just sits there, if I capture him, all right, we'll go ahead and do that. Well, he can't capture or I'll pick his bishop off. All right, so now what would be best? Push our knight. Maybe push our knight up to here. So we'll do that. Although now he can just capture. If he does capture, I guess I could move over here with my queen, eyeing this pawn and lining up. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do that. All right, should I capture with the rook or the queen? I don't know if I gained much out of that. Oh, maybe I should push forward here. Does that do anything? No, I don't want to. Well, if I push forward and he takes my queen and I promote, is that a better option? All right. This is a little tricky. So if I push forward, he takes my queen, I capture his rook and promote. Or he just moves over here. I'm trying to see if I should do this or not. If I push forward here, I'm threatening his rook. Oh, he could just retreat back. No, and then I just take the rook, but then I don't Oh, man. Nope, that won't work. So, all right, I guess we're doing that. Okay. Well, now what? Now what? Guess we could check him. So we'll check him. Then we can pick this pawn off. So do we just go after the pawn? All right. All right, another tricky one. Do we go after this? And then he could pick this off. Then we have to take time to retreat that. So I don't know if I like that. So maybe we just go here. And we'll just see what he does next. I don't know, it's seeming kind of drawish here. All right. Man, what can I do? What can I do? Let's see, let's see. Could try and take this diagonal, but I don't see many opportunities to make my way into their position. Try and double my rooks on the open file, but as soon as I move, he's probably going to capture me. All right. If I go here, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go there. Threaten to double rooks. I mean, he'll probably just, okay, so he's doing likewise. All right. I don't know. If he trades off the rooks, it's going to look pretty drawish. The only maybe advantage that I have is these pawns are kind of wrecked over here. But then, my pawn majority is doubled where he has this extra unopposed pawn here. Hmm. So, okay, so now he wants to try and trade off. Hmm. Do I move my king up here to help protect things? All right, I could. Well, my queen's under attack, so I have to do something about that. If I take him, he'll just move here, probably undoubling his pawns. All right, so this is going to decide how the game goes into the end game. If I capture his queen, he'll probably capture this way, undoubling his pawns. Then, if I go ahead, pick one off, will he capture with the pawn and prevent his final rook from being traded off? Okay. Here we go into this end game. Now, do I capture? All right. Let's see. If I pick off the rook, I don't know, maybe that's the best option there. Now, what will his rook do? Just move forward? Or will he capture with the pawn? So the problem is he has a pawn majority here now. Okay, so he avoided that. We'll go there. Immediately attack his pawn. Then we might as well keep going and go for a passed pawn over here. Can't push that forward. All right, so need to figure out what I can do here. know if I want to move this pawn forward because his king could try and get in the game here. All right. What can I do here? This is looking ridiculous. May have gotten myself in trouble. So how do I protect this pawn? All right, we'll start pushing that pawn. So now we go there to keep his king out. Oh, come on. Uh-oh, now it's getting tricky. I don't know if I played this endgame the correct way. Oh man, did I just give up this pawn? Looks like it. Oh, gosh, come on. This is awful. Just awful. All right, so we'll go there. And now what? Now what? Ah, man. Maybe it would have been better to put my rook up here and attack his pawn. So if I do that, does it work? If I go here and his king comes down and I push my pawn forward, Well, at least they're thinking a little bit now. So, I don't know. This game, it's like I play a few good games and then I get into a slump in here where I just run into problems, I guess. All right. So, I mean, what can I do to attack? I mean, I got to go after this pawn, then he'll pick this one off. But then what do I do? Then I could check him. But then he could just block with his rook. Then what do I do? So I don't know if that would do much. But at least I'm threatening to attack here. If he moves here attacking my rook, can I push forward? So he can't move his king, or I just push forward here. So the king has to stay there. He could just move his rook up here, which is probably best. If he moves his rook up here, attacking. Then what do? I have to try and keep my rook since I'm behind by a pawn, and I'll probably need it to fight over here. Although his king is off to the side more than mine is, but I don't want his rook to come over and cut me off so I can't access my pawns over here after I try and go after this other one. All right. Do I bring my king up? So now that's the question. Do I ignore this? If I do, if I go here, he's going to capture. If I capture, well, let's see, maybe, I don't know, that could be a problem. If I move up, he picks this off. I got to see if that's a winning, or, well, if that's an end game I can hold. So, if I move up here and he picks this pawn off with his rook, then I capture, his king captures, I capture the pawn, then he moves over here. I go up here. If he pushes the pawn, I can capture. All right, let's try that. All right, now we can pick that off. All right, that seemed to work out okay for me. Now I can go after this right here, pick this off. Then try and get my king over here after his pawns, and his king will be trapped on the side. So, I don't know, it looks like this is going to work out for me. Well, I might as well just keep this pawn, just go after this. right. Well, now we can pick that off, go after his rook. Now his rook will have to move, and we can go after the other pawn. Oh my gosh, really? Another blunder by a rook. Another blunder by a rook move. Oh my gosh, this is just awful. Just a horrible blunder. No way. Well, I don't know. I didn't sleep much last night, so I'm assuming that is affecting my game. Oh my gosh. What garbage. What garbage. So that's pretty much it now. Absolutely awful. All right, here we go. Here comes the loss. Here comes the loss. Just awful. 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 I should just resign right there. Well, I'm not going to reach 2,000 if I'm making blunders like this. I don't know. I've noticed I've been making some blunders in the last, the last game, and then I had 2 games in a row before where I made blunders like this. I guess I got to double check my moves. All right, so now they're just going to wait and sit around. So I don't know, I'll just let the clock tick down, I guess, if they're going to take forever to move. All right, so I have to go after this pawn. How should I do it? Maybe like that. Just terrible. 2 games in a row with blunders. Absolute blunders. All right, well, it happens. No use getting upset about it. It's already over with. But it's tough to lose with blunders like that. All right, now let's see if he knows how to win with a rook and a king. All right, well, he's having a little bit of trouble with a rook endgame like this. So what he should have done is just, boxed me in with his rook. All right, so this is pretty easy. Yeah, he should just move in with this king. What do I need to do? Stay in the center, I guess. All right, so what is best here? I want to stay out of the corner, I guess, but he's going to force me to the edge of the board. Well, if nothing else, you can learn how to win against somebody when you have a king and a rook versus a rook. So hopefully you know how to do that already. All right, that was just awful. Two bad games in a row, and my rating took almost a 20-point hit. So I have to cut back on those blunders. All right, we'll do a quick game review and see what the heck we should have done here. So I played at 83.8 versus their 86. We each had one great move. We both had 9 inaccuracies. I had one mistake, they had 2. I had 3 misses, they had 2, and I had 2 blunders. So 2 blunders in that game. I played at 1750 versus their 1950. And the end game, 92.8 versus my 87.3. Man, such a horrible blunder again. I had one of those a similar type blunder like that before. So I need to cut out those blunders, look for checks. That would have helped. If I would have looked for checks, would have avoided all of that. Okay, quit whining about it and let's look at this game review, which turned into, I don't know, kind of an odd game. Oh, so this is a blunder right here. Maybe because it allows a tripling of my pawns. Let's see, what was best here? Okay. Letting this pawn go and just centralizing my rook. But I don't know. That looks terrible as well because he's just going to come down here, pick this off. Then he can try and pick this off next. And if I recapture, he's going to capture. Or no. Well, yeah, if he captures, I have to recapture with my queen. His queen will capture, and I'll just end up with broken pawns here in the end game. So, all right. we'll just zip through this and then I'll come back and look at this in the analysis. All right, so here, yeah, he definitely should have just tripled my pawns up right here by capturing that knight. So he blunders here. Why is this a blunder? So I missed an opportunity there. Another thing to look at in the analysis. All right, so this queen move was not good. It looks like I should have jumped back up here and stayed there. All right. Okay. So, yeah, that's good. We go after the pawn and then see what we should have done here. Okay, that's a mistake. He should have come down here so he could go after this pawn here. So that is a great move. And why? Well, I guess it prevents him from checking me. Okay. So that's bad. He should have just lined up on this. And the blunder. The awful, awful blunder. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I just moved right into where he can check me and grab my rook. Okay. Well, let's zip through the rest of these moves. And then we'll take a look at the analysis here. All right, well, once again, I was winning at one point, it looks like. Let's take a look at this analysis and see. So, analysis, come on. Why is the analysis not coming up? Really? Man, what is going on here? There we go. All right. So the opening just starts off kind of strange. So this wasn't even a great move. Would have been better just to grab the center with my pawns. So I don't know. I didn't play the opening very well. And then here, what am I thinking? Oh, I can try and fork, but all he has to do is block. So, all right. So not a lot going on. We're just maneuvering around. He takes that, but this lets me control e5 better. But I did give up the bishop pair. So queen to f6, an inaccuracy. Better would have been, what, bishop to e7 and getting ready to castle. Now, why is this a blunder? I guess it's a blunder because it allows him to triple my pawns by capturing that knight. So better would have been rook to e1, and it says I would be ahead. Why couldn't he just pick off this pawn, you know, with that? And then what? Well, now it says knight to d5. How can I even play? Oh, knight to d5. Yeah, that would be a tricky one because, well, no, he can just pick that off. So if I go there, that's the best move. He can pick it. Oh, but then it's better to just retreat and let him fork here. Oh, man. But if he captures, well, then we capture. And he can't capture because the rook is pinning this pawn. So they recommend, e5. Then queen to c2. Queen to c2. Why wouldn't you just knock out this pawn. Well, then I guess his pawn could move forward, but now it's saying rook to d8. Queen takes c7 up here, and then we would just be ahead at that point. All right, so an interesting variation. Back to the game. So this was a bad move, and they did not take advantage of the opportunity by capturing. Then our best option, of course, is to recapture, but now we have these triple isolated pawns, just pretty awful here. And then, oh, on top of that, they can capture here. And, oh man. Then what do we have? Knight to e2, chasing the queen. Queen just retreats, lining up on these pawns, able to maybe later attack on the king side. Rook at a to d1. And then black can just castle over to the queen side here. All right. So queen to f6. Our queen moves up. They should have captured the knight and tripled our pawns, but they didn't. So now we try and get rid of this bishop, but it looks like better would have been to bring the knight up and attack their queen. Capture, capture, and queen lines up on our king and attacks this knight, which is unprotected. So we just centralize our rook, but it looks like it would have been even better to move there. All right. Queen to knight to f6 is a blunder. Best would have been to just castle. So castle, and then, man, they still want us to play knight to g3 here. What is that move about? Knight to g3, bishop to f6. Now it's saying rook to c1. All right, so anyway, how did we not take advantage of this? So here, knight to g3, the best move. Instead, we captured and missed an opportunity. So let's look at this knight to g3 move. Then they should castle. Although now it's saying d5. But then what do we do here? We play f5. And then, I mean, why wouldn't they just do that? Oh, I guess it would attack that bishop with the rook and the knight. The bishop would have to retreat. Oh, and they can't do that anyway. They can't capture the pawn because we pick off their bishop. So looks like queen to h7, just retreating is best. And then now we can just capture. And instead of recapturing, they should play rook at a to e8 here. So then at this point, we could play d5 and queen to g6. Although we could attack if we wanted to, or saying knight to d4 is better. So another way the game could have gone. So in the game, what actually happened is, let's go back a few moves. We captured the knight. They captured. Although that's the inaccuracy, a bishop capture would have been better. But this opened up a line towards the king. But we can block that, and apparently that's best. Then they pushed forward, an inaccuracy, but queen to h7 would have been better. Okay, so we move our king. They start pushing forward. We block that, but it looks like we should have ignored that and just pushed in the center here. Try and break open the center while his king is there, I guess. All right, so instead we should have moved up here. And then bishop to f6. And then we should push to d5. So bishop to f6. d5 or queen to d3. All right, anyway, back to the game. At this point, we moved our queen centralized. They retreat, firing down the diagonal with the queen, getting ready to make a battery with the bishop. All right, so there's the battery. We start trying to break things open, but, yeah, it would have been better to attack. To move up here, attack. If they captured, we could recapture and still protect our knight. So instead of that move, we should have jumped up there, and white would just be ahead here. Then after queen to g4, whoa, yeah, they would probably just move their rook. But where? Here to back this up. So here we have c5. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know, a move I probably wouldn't have seen. c5 is the computer saying that's a great move. Now rook at h to h8 to protect this rook, well, and the back rank. Although now it wants this move with the bishop. But anyway, what do we do here? We capture. Man, what if they didn't move that rook? What if instead they captured? Should they capture towards the center? Probably something like that. And then queen to e2. Oh, that allows us to come up here with a check. So if we go back, what if they captured that way? All right, then we should play, oh man, d6. We just start pushing. No way. Can they just, oh my gosh, can they capture our knight? Yeah, so anyway, this is just some crazy variations that were possible. Wait a minute, where were we at here? So the game proceeded like this. We just traded, oh, wait a minute, is it saying I should have captured with the queen here? Oh man, I should have played that e7 move that I was looking at in the game. In the game, I was looking at this move, but I didn't know if it worked. They should play rook to e8. Then we should play rook takes d4. And then rook to e6. Queen to f3. And okay, why would they not? Oh, we're in check. We're checking them here. So they would have to move the king. So king to b8 looks like that might be best. Now it's saying a7. But here, what do we do next? Rook takes e6. So we do that. They capture. Queen captures, attacking there. Rook takes e7. And rook to d3. And we would be ahead a pawn here. So that would have been better than what happened in the game, which was this. We move. And I don't know. So even this is an inaccuracy. What would have been best here? Capturing. So it would have been better to capture than They probably would have done that to undouble their pawns. Then queen up to c6. So, queen up to c6. All right, anyway, let's keep going here. Oh, wait a minute. It's saying we should not capture the queen. That's the second best move. A rook capture would have been better. And then, all right, it's saying that is best. Then we should capture the queen. Okay. Their best move is that. We're forced to capture. Well, not forced, but we need to capture. And then if they capture, now f5. Oh, yeah, that's a good strategy because our king can just walk right up here. No, he could block me off by going there. So king to c8. Maybe it would be better to play f6 here. But then my king, that would kind of keep my king out of these dark squares. F3 is the only move that gets an advantage. So capture. Oh, no way. Now it's saying g4. If you capture, oh man, yeah, this is tricky. If he captures, I'm going to run my pawn up and be able to promote. So the king moving forward is better. But now we have this passed pawn majority. Well, one passed pawn. I guess it's not quite passed yet because of this pawn. But here, what do they recommend? C6 or F2 check. That, king up to F2. But anyway, you get the idea. This could have been a lot better than what happened in the game. And it's just hard to calculate all, unless you can calculate really fast. It's hard to figure all that out when your time is running short and you're just trying to hurry in these 10 or 15 minute games. You know, even worse than Blitz. All right, so here we go. All right. So these moves are best. Now here it's saying I should have gone there instead. Huh. So F5 or H6. It looks like they're about equal. King blocks. Now rook to H5 or F5, which I think that's what I played. They should have captured. But we go here, capture. I should have immediately went rook to H5. But I found it this time. Okay, so that's best, to just move the king up. Capture, capture, capture. Would have been better to retreat my rook and guard here. Huh. All right, so that was a good move, to block him off and prevent that pawn from promoting. Should have gone back further, but I don't know. I thought I could just pick this off. So he does that. We capture that way, and keep this protected now. But it didn't even like that move. It says I should have gone over here. So b5, that is a mistake. Rook to f7 would have been better. So capturing is best. And then this horrible blunder. So all I had to do is go here. And then what? Rook to f5 or g5. So let's say they go there. Now the recommendation is king to b2 or rook to h2. So if I go rook to b2, oh, it wants me to protect this pawn. So yeah, maybe that is better. You go here, then what? Rook, man, rook to f2. Now it's saying we should have checked, but here we can go rook to h5 and then force him to go there and just defend. So now, yeah, if this would be the plan. Rook to e7. What? Okay. King up to a3. Rook to e1. Rook takes like that. King takes. And then I don't know, then we might as well just start pushing the pawn. King starts heading over. We bring our king up. King over to f7. Although now it's saying that's an inaccuracy. Let's go back. Should we do this? King up to b5. Rook to b1 behind the passed pawn. Oh, nope. It doesn't want that. It's saying rook to f1 now. Rook to f1. Okay. Rook to a7. Rook to f4, targeting the pawn. Doesn't like that. Now it's saying get behind the passed pawn. King up to a5, or over to a5. King to f5 or f6. Rook to c7. Rook to a1 check. Nope. Move the king. We start pushing. King to d5. All right. Now it's saying we should have immediately gone here. It doesn't like that now. All right, so let's look at that. Well, either way is bad, it looks like. Apparently we're just losing now. Rook to c6 check. Or do we just keep pressing forward here? I think we have to move this. So why not go all the way down here? Anyway, this will just drag on forever. So you get the idea. We had a blunder and I should have just resigned there. So I'm not going to go over the rest of the game and drag the video out too long because this is just losing here. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for those that haven't already. Feel free to leave comments with whatever you have to say. Sorry about that blunder. I should have won this game, I guess. Well, or at least got a draw. And thank you for watching. Have a super chess day.